I will send me a picture of my dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Get it.
You know, I had to be goofy on the intro.
What's up with y'all, man? I think we back. I think
What's
we.
up? What's up? We back, man. Welcome back to the Funky Fly Slippers.
Um, wait, no.
And
Yo, man, I'm awesome.
it's your boy Mike.
Yes, it is, man. First things first, obey your thirst. I'm not, don't pay us. Yeah, man, what you sipping on?
I know, right? What side is label on? There we go. A nice one from Sycamore, and I said it before, bars, that a little bit of the darker beers and ambers and such are going to be coming out to close out the colder season, and I'll be welcoming some more of the more springtime beers here soon. But get it back in the shot. Shout out to my brother, uh, Sir B Me to the Coffee Squad, for giving me this.
Me.
This is Sycamore's Churro Amber Ale, and let me tell you something. It legit tastes like a churro. It tastes like you dipped a churro in some beer. Do a sip right now. Same great
Yeah.
taste. Telling y'all right now. Y'all, in fact, they put some flavor text on the side that says "Sabroso, fantastical, churros, cinnamon sugar dusted pastry goodness, dunked in a smooth, rich amber ale, brimming with notes of caramel. Unleash a fiesta on your taste buds." Man, I couldn't have said it better myself. But I don't talk too much about what I'm sipping on, man. What you over there sipping on?
Tequila. What was that one? Malaro?
Milagro.
Milagro. Monroe. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? So yeah, that's all I got
they're
right
getting
now,
bigger,
man.
man. They're becoming a bigger names. I see commercials about them. So
Ah, that's terrible. That's terrible. Because they're gonna raise that price, yo. They gonna
well,
raise it. I gotta find something new.
they're already higher than your standard tequilas and your standard $20 bottles. They're already
But
higher.
not the price, yo. It's better
They,
than Patron.
well,
Almost everything is
correct.
better than Patron, but the price of Patron is stupid.
Of both Patron and Casamigos. I
Mm-hmm.
agree.
Yep, house friends.
And I don't think Milagro is going to get that big to have to raise the price like that because then they don't have a celebrity endorsement. So I'll say that.
Yeah. When they have a celebrity endorsement, they start putting random stuff in that tequila, like sugar and rat poison. But you know,
that and they don't do flavors. Like they just stick to just standard tequila. So I will say that.
standard tequila. Get the
But
drinks
this is
and
the
drinking
sport
and
podcast.
sipping. But yeah, man. Let's start with a little bit of soccer talk, man.
What you got on the soccer talk?
Man. Not so much stuff for the Champions League, but the Coppa Italia, Juventus failed, and I think the
Mhm.
coach, I don't know. Last week I was like, man, people are tripping, whatever, and this week I'm like, you know what? Y'all not tripping. It's a mixture of the GM and then the coach. The GM basically got rid of people.
Mhm.
The coach system, it kind of works, but you overpaid players that don't work. And there's a lot of injuries. So I'm like, what's up with these injuries?
Mhm.
And so, in order to go to the semifinals, they got beat by Empoli, who's 18th out of 20 in the league. That's like the Lakers losing to the Hornets and then having the Hornets lose by 100 and something in the last three games.
Yeah.
And the main striker, Dusan Vlahovic, my good friend, which what I call him, he's been trashed this year. So, hey, man, he's the highest paid player in the league. He's only 25. He got to go. And there's rumors that they're trying to sell Yildiz, and I'm like, you don't touch Yildiz. You better not.
Mhm.
So I don't know, man. It's just a mess over there. But more news, man. Yo, Charlotte FC tied Seattle Sounders in a wild ending.
Mm.
Yeah, they tie the game up with a minute to go in stoppage time, and their first home game is Saturday at 2 o'clock. I'll be downtown. If you see me, say what up and you owe me a shot. But yeah, man. So the game's at 2 and Hornets play at 6. So you know where I'll be the entire day,
Downtown all day.
looking foolish. So yeah, that's really it for soccer. I mean, there's gonna be more stuff when the Champions League stuff kind of picks up a little bit, but it looks like the leagues are starting to, unless Arsenal, unless Liverpool or Inter just have a massive collapse, they're probably gonna win the league.
Mm.
So yeah, but UFC. Did you watch that fight night?
Nah, I didn't even get a chance to, man.
I seen somebody get knocked out and he was laying still with his eyes open as he was getting hit on the ground. I was like, it was another knockout where the guy knocked him out. And like in the UFC, like the ref has to stop it, right? He
Yeah, yeah.
knocked him out and he was like the guy who hit him was like, and he looked at the ref was like, what you gonna do? He said, all right, he went down there and whop, 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 and then the ref stopped it. I'm thinking, yo, he owed that ref money. Because he was
You're right.
knocked out. He was on the ground, like not know where he is. And the guy who hit him was like,
You good? Right.
you gonna stop the fight? No? All right. Whop, whop, whop. I said, oh, yeah. Then the main event,
And we ain't talking wop 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 from Kendrick Lamar either.
nah. So then the main event, it was a dude who's been like a little crybaby. He was getting dragged for 3 rounds. He got poked in the eye, right? It was a bad poke in the eye. But he's like, hey man, I can't see, I can't see, I can't see, I can't see, right? So he's like, all right, well, I guess we gotta stop the fight, right? Usually there's a poke in the eye or like somebody get kicked in the balls, whatever, or under the belt. They I think they have at the most 5 minutes to rest and get their stuff back together.
Mhm.
Usually people take maybe 1 or 2 minutes, right? This dude took the full 5 minutes, even sat down and chilled. And everybody's like, yo, get up, man. Like, I'm not sure if you're not fine or not, whatever, but whatever. They called the fight, and I think the guy who kept saying, I can't see, I can't see, I think he was saying, like, trying to do that just to have a DQ and cancel the fight, basically. But
Mhm.
since it already went 3 rounds, if you go to a fourth round, right? So if you're over the mid joint, they can call a official fight. So they started the round and then stopped the fight, and then the other guy won. I was like,
Mm.
ah, gotcha. So yeah, it was a little bit of a weird ending, but I think we'll talk about more UFC stuff coming up. But there's a good pay-per-view in April. No, April in June. One last thing. The UFC is now not banning. They would not allow you to have two titles
Mm.
in two different weight classes. So that's way more title fights now.
Yeah.
And two people, I think, no, one person had to vacate their title. And I said, oh, we got the title shot coming up. So yeah, man,
Hmm.
that's a little crazy. But yeah, y'all check it out, man. Mhm.
Nice, nice,
Oh,
nice.
okay, one thing too. I'm not a big fan of his, and this is not really political, or whatever. But the current president, when he goes to UFC fights, is not. It's he actually is a fight fan from way before. So I know people are like, oh man, he's there just to prove something. No, he used to have boxing fight matches in the Trump Hotel in Atlantic City.
Mm.
He'd been at the UFC stuff before all this stuff,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not a fan of him, but it's weird. People are like, oh man, see what he's trying to do? He's trying to like, no, no, he's actually a fight fan.
Hmm.
Don't like him, but it's you got to use another tactic. So, but yeah, man. Well, sure, talk about college basketball, man. What you got for that, good sir?
Man, so we know, as we all know, first off, I believe the rematch of Carolina Duke, I believe for the women's is coming up. I believe it's tomorrow. And then like right before March Madness starts, about a week and a half or so, you'll have the rematch of Carolina Duke for the men. And I mean, I know a lot of people are not really fans of Hubert Davis, but it got me to thinking, especially with Carolina's little bit of a win streak. Uh, Kansas had quite the shock and turnouts against a few teams, including losing to BYU by almost 40. Um,
Nobody's safe.
the Michigan State isn't the same Michigan State that we've seen before. So it's going to be an interesting year. But if you could say right now, I mean, I know we still have about 2 weeks of conference play left. If you could say right now, what would be some teams you could at least see getting in, and then some teams you could see being on the bubble?
What's crazy, I can see Carolina getting in.
Hmm.
Half of it is basically what they've been doing lately, where we said this before, they're losing, or like they were losing, but it was close games. And you can't replicate that experience when it comes to the tournament.
Hmm.
And also, so it's part of that and part of the Carolina name. I think another team, um, I think they'll get in easy, but they're starting to fall off a little bit earlier than I thought they would.
Hmm.
Gonzaga.
I'll
St. Mary's looks like it's
I'll
run.
agree, and I will put Gonzaga in the bubble area.
Mhm. I think St. Mary's is kind of taking that over. No, they already won the championship, I think, or that conference. So
I don't think so. Yeah.
yeah, and Gonzaga used to run stuff on the Pacific. So you know, y'all starting to fall off a little bit further than the Sweet 16. How y'all normally
Hmm.
fall off. So
One, I'm gonna sip on that because I agree with both of those points. For me, and another reason that is sparking this conversation is the fact that have you seen who's ranked currently in college basketball?
I know Auburn is ranked number one.
Both major programs in Alabama are in the top five, I believe.
See,
St.
this is
John's is in the top
oh
five.
yeah, St. John's. Yo, hey yo, you know what's crazy? Hey man, NIL fam.
So that's kind of what is sparking this
Yo,
conversation.
let me ask you a
Uh,
question. Do you think Carolina will ever try to go to the SEC?
there's too much history here. Good, here you go. Good question, because we've seen in college football that Cal and Stanford are now part of the ACC. So I get the question, but
Yeah, it
there's
is a lot of
way,
history, but I'm like,
yeah.
where are y'all leaning toward? Because I was thinking like you won't lose the basketball aspect. The only thing that you will lose from that is playing Duke,
Yeah.
but it has but you can always have a little rival thing. But other than
Well, I
that,
mean,
SEC
realistically, they could
basketball,
still,
yeah,
if they did make that move, they could still just schedule the game because Louisville
hmm
and Kentucky still play each other, even though they're not in the same conference.
yep. And the SEC is starting to have a lot more consistency with their teams for basketball. And if you're trying to get that football money, you got Belichick.
Hmm.
You have been producing NFL talent. Could be a money move.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was thinking about it like, huh, interesting.
Um, what, where would you put DePaul? Because I'm kind of on the fence for DePaul.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Because again, there's a lot of
Yeah,
conference play left.
there
Um,
is. But it's also one of those like, I don't know. Like, it's really hard because now the teams that aren't being shown on ESPN like that, unless you have ESPN Plus,
yeah.
are starting to climb up fast. And the teams that
Hmm.
We'll like like Connecticut, Kansas, Chapel Hill, Duke. It's a different story. Everybody wants to see flag, whatever.
Hmm.
They're like, they're like they're hanging around.
Hmm.
So it's like, I mean,
Uh,
I see I see them more in gambling than I see them actually playing basketball.
right.
So I don't know.
As for right now, I'll throw Louisville in there for the getting inside, and I'll throw Illinois in for bubble. Um,
You know who else might be
Illinois,
sneaky? Clemson.
yeah, I can see that. I'll throw them on the bubble side as well. Them Tigers. Uh, I know who ain't getting in, and it's Miami or Boston College. I tell you that. I don't know if you've seen their record, but their record looks boofy. All right. Let's see if I can think of like one more that I could say is I might revisit this list for next week, um, because we'll obviously be closer to um March Madness. We'll be closer to ending the conference play. We'll see how some things play out. Uh, I guess I could stop the list there. But like I said, when I saw who was ranked and saw some teams' records and such, and then like you pointed out, Carolina's little win streak, it's like, yeah, let's go ahead and start this conversation. Who you see getting in, and who you see on the bubble. So
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting coming up.
yeah,
Super interesting. Ah, 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 ah,
that's all I had
ah,
on
ah,
that front.
ah,
That's
ah,
all.
ah. All right. You hear about the gambling issue that's been happening with college basketball?
Gambling issue, no.
So I think it was a couple of years ago. It was Javante Porter, Michael Porter Jr.'s brother.
Hmm.
He got caught in it, but it's also I think A&T is caught in it. Like a couple players from that from my school. I think Tennessee State was in there. Shit.
Wow.
And there's another school that got hit. But yeah, it's like 16 games or something. So yeah,
Got to be more careful. With that, I'm gonna sip on it,
got
man.
to be more careful.
I might have to look
So,
that up. Wow. Is it a specific sport or is it
basketball.
it's just basketball? Okay.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is it gonna make them like vacate some like some wins or such, or is it more like a monetary fine, or do we know yet?
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I don't know, man. They'll pay them like it wasn't like it wasn't the big schools. So that's why I was like, okay, it's not the big schools.
Hmm.
So that's why I was like, oh, it might be all right. Now that would have started happening with, Duke, shut it
Hmm.
down. Shut it down all the way down.
Shut it down. Shut it
Shut it
down.
down. Yep. So yeah, man. But I think that'd be good though. Um, what else? I think that's it for college basketball.
Yeah.
All right. Should we go on to the NBA?
Got a fun little trivia thing we can do towards the end, but LA Luca, man.
Yeah.
LA Luca recorded a triple double against his former team.
He had like 7 assists in the first like half into the second quarter. I was like, yo, okay. No, no, he had like 7 rebounds.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for those that don't know, off shooting night for him, still had 19 points, had 15 rebounds, 12 assists. Remember what Dallas got in that trade?
Like guy sitting on the bench.
Hurt on the bench. You also know you also note that Dallas is now without a big man that's outside of Moses Brown, who comes off the bench. Karma's hitting us hard with this trade. Now I do understand some concerns outside of um, Luka's fitness and such, but
I
the
think
guy we're
that's
trading
like
for.
Luka's fitness is gonna be something that you always have to deal with.
Mhm.
And I think the problem is with Luka is not now. It's when he hits that close to 30 range, when the NBA
Mhm.
body starts to slow down a little bit.
Mhm.
So I mean, if they can keep him out the club, yo, you straight. The problem is not
That
his game.
remind
The
me of
problem is like hookah and drinks every
yeah, I'm
night.
about to say I was like last year when he was celebrating winning the conference finals with a beer
My
in
man
his hand.
said, "Let me get that beer, fam."
Yeah, go Michael Finley. Thank you for saving that.
Michael Finley, yo, shout out to
um,
Michael Finley, yo.
yeah, but yeah, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, and I forgot the name of Gafford's backup, but um, yeah, and now Anthony Davis, all
Lively?
hurt. No, they have a rotation where they can do Gafford and Lively. So I was counting both of them basically kind of like starters. Um, so basically the backup to them. Um, matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, because it wouldn't be not Najee Marshall. Yeah, Dwight Powell is also hurt. And come on, let me get back here. There's one other guy. I'm like looking at his face. I can't remember his name. No one counts PJ Washington.
Told y'all. I told y'all.
Like we are basically Kyler Kelly. There we go. I was like, what is his name? Yeah, Kyler Kelly. All of them are hurt. So Moses Brown is literally our only player that is taller than 6'8". We are in a position where we had to run Olivier Maxence Prosper as the four when he's supposed to be a wing slash shooter. We had to run him at the four. We're almost at the point where we got to run Clay Thompson at the four.
Bro, Klay Thompson, like, man, look, I just came here to shoot, bro. I came here because
Like
Luka
we
was here.
we
Now I
might
gotta
have to
actually
run him
play.
at the four and puny PJ Washington, puny Junior Washington at the five. Like
Told
all of our
y'all.
big men are down, minus Moses Brown. So I don't know what Jason Kidd and or any other members of the team, higher ups on the team, plan to do about that. But we are going to get beat a lot because of unless we find a chemistry and a groove where we will be successful playing small ball. And it sucks too because currently, if playoffs were to start, we would be a playoff team. But I could see this kind of ending badly, like the end of our season ended badly. But yeah, Luca, Luca and LeBron looking like they're going to be flourishing together pretty well. Of course, all of the big talk is do the Lakers? Does anyone think the Lakers will win the championship?
Hell no. I'll put money on that. Nah, fam. Nope. Absolutely
I
not.
agree with that sentiment.
Absolutely not. 'Cause you know what's gonna happen? Yo, who on Luca? Yo, give me a pick. Force him to switch. Oh, you ain't got no big man, but Jackson Hayes, get him out of foul trouble. It's not they are not. They're gonna just mantle them. And I mean, Luka is still a liability on defense. When he doesn't have the ball, it's 4-on-5. Once you realize that, and just like I've seen him just stand there,
Yeah,
and like the thing is like this, like you know, like he doesn't trot from like paint to paint. He goes from 3-point line to 3-point line. He don't move.
hmm
Jokic doesn't move fast. Luka don't move at all. So
and for those that don't know, and I fully understand that sentiment, Mavericks fan here, y'all can go if y'all follow me on any social media, y'all can go check out my social media page of when I was watching various Mavericks games and see me complain about the same thing. That we basically have two players moving and three statues. So
PJ Washington's gonna go straight to the corner. It should
exactly.
go should go straight to the house. But yeah.
I am glad that Kyrie Irving has been kind of showing out and kind of
Oh yeah, he been
uplifting.
balling.
Um, so that is like a little bit of like a bright side, and but let's be real, we play in the Western Conference, which is I'm going to echo your statement of I don't think the Lakers win the championship because again they play in the Western Conference. Heck, I don't even know if the Lakers win a 7 game series against the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies aren't even the best team in the
Your mic
conference.
is popping.
Thunder is.
Your mic was popping.
Hmm?
Your mic was popping for a second.
Oh, I was saying, I don't think the Lakers win a 7 game series against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they aren't even the best team in the conference.
Uh-uh.
The Thunder
Nope.
is. So,
Did you see that Thunder and Timberwolves game?
oh, you know I did.
That was fun. That was fun to
Thunder went
watch.
up big, and all of a sudden I look back, I was like, Timberwolves just took the lead. That's a decent highlights from that game. That's gonna be the crazy part. Like whoever comes out of the West is basically just has to face either the Cavaliers or the Celtics.
Celtics may have to face the Celtics. Yeah, man. You know what I'm also annoyed with the Hornets,
Mm.
but I think I know what's going on. Tank for Cooper flag. That's capture the flag. That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, before I
Man.
before I forget,
Anything else
um,
for the?
for NBA, I was gonna say, I was like, before I forget, let's get this. Oh, I think you froze. I think you froze. Hold on, no.
Hmm? No, man.
Oh, okay. Ah, you made your video first. Let's get this quick trivia out of the way. Little cool thing. Um, the top five longest NBA title droughts. Can you name the top five teams? I think you, yeah, you still breaking. You still breaking up.
One at all.
Hold on.
So, like when you
Yeah,
say drought, yeah, can you hear me?
yeah. I can now. I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. So when you say drought, do you mean as in time between two championships, or like we won one and we haven't won one since the '80s, or as in will the drought be like all right, like the Hornets, we were a team and then we never won one.
All three.
Okay, sure.
Because looking at this list, there are teams on here that have never won.
Sacramento Kings,
They are number one at 73 years.
The Hornets are a little bit different. How are we defining the Hornets? Is it the entire length of the franchise, or is it from like the 80s, 90s, like 2000s, and then the Bobcats era for the
Uh,
Hornets?
they are counting it as the entire franchise, because technically the Sacramento Kings were the Kansas City Kings before that and the Rochester Royals before that, and they count that entire franchise.
Right, but I'm thinking so like so how are the Pelicans counted? Are the Pelicans just New Orleans, or does it
The
include further?
Pelicans and Hornets are not on this list, not in the
Okay,
top.
okay, okay. Well, that makes sense then. 'Cause I was like, that yeah, our history is a little weird.
Yeah, the
Because
Hornets are not. The Hornets and Pelicans are not old enough to be on the list.
okay, because I said the Pelicans, did they start in '88 in Charlotte, or did they start? You
I
know what I'm
know,
saying?
right?
It's weird. It's just
Yeah,
like how we doing it?
they they do count the entire length of the franchise, but yeah, of
Okay,
four top five, they do not make top five.
the Nets.
No, the Nets are not on the list.
Hmm.
Not for top five,
Big,
at least. Although
biggest
they are.
drought.
I'm about to say, if you can't think, I can give you a hint for some.
Warriors.
Is it the Warriors?
Yeah,
No,
because it was like between
The
'60s.
Warriors won in the Warriors won a couple, like a handful of years ago.
Yeah, I'm talking like overall, like okay, so because I think like they like won in what the '50s or something,
Hmm.
and then they didn't win again till what 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, but it still is
Oh, you
below.
talking about current drought?
Yeah,
Oh, the Knicks.
yeah. The Knicks, they are number five at 51
Okay,
years.
yeah, okay, now, okay, no, okay, it makes sense now. All right, okay, I'm thinking of like, all right, well, now, okay, now it's easier. All
Yeah,
right,
you would think,
yeah, I was
which
thinking like,
that drought for the Warriors, yes, would put them in top 10, but they would still currently be below the Knicks at 51 because I think it was like a 50 something year drought.
okay, well, Philly,
The 76ers are not on the list,
what?
surprisingly.
That's crazy. Does Seattle slash Oklahoma City count?
They are not on the list either.
What? This is fun. Uh,
You are doing some good guesses. I would say
no.
a decent amount of those guesses would also still be in top 10, but this is just looking for top five.
Mm. Nope, not that team.
One one team. Here's one hint. One team was basically
Portland,
always a laughing stock.
Portland,
Portland is not on the list. Um,
Clippers.
yes, the LA Clippers. That's the one I was getting ready to give you a hint for. The LA Clippers are number four at 54 years.
Okay, so
You only got two
we,
more
we got
teams
the
left.
Clippers. With the Clippers, uh, um, who did I say?
The Clippers,
The
the
Knicks.
Knicks, and the Kings is who you name. So you only need two more. Mind you, of the two, one has won one, and
Mm,
the other one has
Hawks.
not won.
What about the Hawks?
The Atlanta Hawks are number two at 66
The Hawks being
years.
there?
Yeah,
Because they're an old team, but they don't win nothing.
the
They
last
just
time
can't
they
win.
actually won one, they were the St. Louis Hawks, correct? The last team is the number three. So it's going to be more difficult for you because you've named the top two and then the bottom two.
One of the biggest cities in America, Phoenix.
Yep, there you go. There you rounded it out. The Phoenix
I was like,
Suns at
yep,
56
that
years.
team got to be old, but they don't be winning. because the city is big.
They be getting well, they did get there with the thing, what, four times? They got there like three or four times
I definitely
and
know with
didn't win.
Barkley.
I don't think they did it with Barkley. Did they get there with
They
Barkley?
got there with Barkley because they played Jordan.
I know they got them garbage blue and red uniforms back way back when in like the 70s.
Yep. They got there because of Dan Marley on the team. Kevin Johnson was on the
Mhm.
team. Charles Barkley. Yep.
AC Green. Yep. I remember that
Yep.
team. So there you go. Some fun trivia for y'all. The other teams you named, I might look up theirs and see where they actually stand. Like if we were to go past just a top five, but there's some good trivia for y'all, America. Yeah, it's all I got, man.
All right. All right. Let's go to our NFL news. First things first. Let's make it Thursday. Anyway, so yo, check this out, fam. They got they got the combine coming up, man.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Combine starts tomorrow. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen and everything. But we shall see.
I I
Um,
agree, especially considering the number of teams that might be looking more towards um specific skill positions. Um,
mhm.
this could be a year you're going to see a lot of weird positions drafted instead of, you know, teams always going for like, your quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of other skill positions outside of that get drafted here.
Also, too, y'all be on the lookout for trades. Trades usually pop up around this time, yeah. So, you know.
Especially if you're the Raiders. That's just, that's that's the that team is making Lego bricks, man. That's a team in progress. That is a project in progress. So I'm almost guaranteeing you there's
Yo,
going to
hold on, wait,
be.
this thing is breaking up, man.
Uh-oh.
Yep, yep,
Uh,
yep,
I
it's
was
good
saying
now.
I was saying there's going to be a lot of work to be done for the Raiders. I guarantee you they're going to be doing like some trades and some work around this time.
I can definitely see it. Oh man, what else? What else? What else? What else? You want to go down the list real quick? Again, was it
Uh oh,
was
for
it
draft needs,
yeah, 11 through
we had left off at 10, so we got to do
yeah.
11 through 20. That's right.
Yep. All right, number 11, 49ers.
A
Uh,
team. I'm joking. I only say that because it didn't
no,
look like anyone really wanted to
that-
play there.
yeah, it's like you don't need an edge rusher. You don't need a quarterback. You don't need a wide receiver. No, you may need a wide receiver. You don't need a tight end. Don't you don't need a running back
It's like, yeah, what do you get?
and no linebacker.
Maybe line? I mean, they were getting beat on the run on defense, but at the same
Hmm.
time, it's like you kind of don't need that position. You need your defenders to be healthy for one.
Yes, I think that's the biggest thing. I'm gonna go with defensive tackle.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's like possibly something on defense because realistically, just getting beat on the run. I'm gonna agree with you on defensive tackles. Like you got beat on the run a lot
And like your wide
specifically.
receivers. Mhm. The next
Agreed.
number 12 Cowboys.
Pfft. Now that is one I should say team slash get rid of Micah Parsons. Um,
I'm going
because
running back.
I can get down with that. I can get down with that. I'll agree with you on running back. Because ever since Tony Pollard went to
Y'all pick one.
Tennessee, he on the running game. So
Next we got the Dolphins.
hmm,
I don't know.
low key, I want to say quarterback.
We've been
Oh
saying
man.
that for a
Oh
while,
boy.
yo. We've
I
been
low
saying
key
that
want to
for
say
a
quarterback.
while.
Especially considering Tua's concussions. I low key want to say quarterback. Um, or I want to say a player that can play in cold weather. Oops, did I say that out loud? Uh,
Yo, like you know what's crazy? I
um,
don't I don't think it's a player that can play in cold weather. I think that whole scheme is messed up.
mm,
Because Tyreek Hill, yeah, he can run, but he's not as fast in cold weather. You like you have a good running game, but you don't use it in cold weather.
mhm.
Tua can't throw in warm weather. So, yeah,
I'm gonna stick with my original thought. Trust your gut. I'm gonna say quarterback.
all right,
Not that Tua is awful, but
quarterback. Did
Tua's
I not think
health
of that?
history is something to question.
You know what? Let me say that tomorrow. Number. Okay, I said Dolphins, 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 Dolphins. I don't know, man. Considering that they play in the NFC East, no North, right?
The AFC East, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, AFC East.
because the North, they had to make that the East because the North is, and then the North ended up being the AFC Central minus Jacksonville
Nah, I got it.
and Houston.
I'm gonna go with offensive line, yo.
Okay,
You got a quarterback with a trick neck, and and every quarterback that came in after him was getting destroyed.
including there you go. Actually, that's actually a good point, and that was a problem years ago, even back when they had Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Hmm.
So I agree. I'll throw that on there. I'll also never forget
Um,
the fact that back when the Dolphins did have Ryan Fitzpatrick, tickets to the Dolphins and back then they were, did they do the name change back then? No, they hadn't changed the name yet. Tickets to the Dolphins and Redskins game at that point were $5. So you would pay
they
more for
should start
valet
giving out
parking.
Hornets tickets for free. But that's a whole nother
Pay
topic.
more for valet parking than you would for a family of four to go to that Redskins and Dolphins game. But yeah, we got at 14.
NFL, yeah, crazy. Um, all right. Next 14, we got the Colts. I'm going with offensive lineman. Just because, yo, you got a new quarterback, and if he does well, you guys are good.
Will fully agree with
I
that. The
think you
Colts,
draft the offensive lineman and you pick up a good wide receiver in free agency.
mm-hmm. But I said the Colts are already in a great position to start building and such. So drafting an offensive lineman and uh, like you said, to help that new quarterback, I agree.
All right. Yeah, yeah, like we did say that the this part would be a little bit easier because yeah, moving from a team
Mhm.
or teams who needed everything. Let's see, Falcons.
A
I
coach.
think they should get a new city.
Agreed.
Can't stand the Falcons though.
Atlanta Falcons. What? What could they use? Uh, so they already got. Well, what's the news on Kirk Cousins?
I think they may be shopping him
Okay, so there's
because
that, and
Penix
they
is
got
yeah,
the
Penix is it.
future of what they're looking for Michael Penix. Uh, just gotta
Like
get
I
him some
think
more reps.
yeah, like he can play the position.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Defensively, they weren't bad. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say wide receiver for him.
Yo,
You
I'm
definitely
going
don't
to
need a
go
running back. Your
defense.
running game is great in Atlanta.
I'm going to go defense. You remember that Panthers and Falcons game where they had something to actually play for?
Hmm.
They were putting up points, but Bryce Young had 5 touchdowns.
True. No, Parker is wide receiver
A
slash defensive.
a hurt Panthers.
Super banged up Panthers. Yeah, you ain't lying about that.
All right. Number 16, the Arizona Cardinals.
The Atlanta Cardinals. They need to be the Atlanta Cardinals. Okay. Arizona. Very weird start. Ended up slanging that thing, no diddy, towards the end of the season. So it's kind of hard to kind of gauge their talent level and know exactly what they need. But I
Mhm.
did see them get beat over the top a few times. Kind of risky. I'm gonna go defensive back.
Okay. Um, oh no, man. I'll say a edge rusher.
Okay.
I don't think they need to address the offensive stuff too soon.
I
Like as
agree.
like a
Like I
high
said, they
priority and
they
push them.
started off super slow, and then all of a sudden he had like a 6 game winning streak.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
The Bengals are going to be interesting. I think that kind of depends on what happens with T. Higgins.
the Bengals are 17. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Because if the Broncos lost, the Bengals would have got in. Yeah, I forgot their record was that good.
Because this, so
Uh,
let's say if T. Higgins, no, okay, no, they franchise T. Higgins, but do you want to draft a wide receiver and a top joint?
I don't think
Nah, you
offense.
know what? Never mind. Let's not be stupid. Either offensive tackle or get somebody on the defense.
Thank you. I'm
Y'all
about to
can't
say.
stop nobody and you can't protect nobody.
I'm
Nah.
about to say. There's clearly two answers here: offensive line slash defense.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow at one point, America had 30 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and his team was 5-8, facing elimination from the playoff. He led
Yeah,
the
let's not his
league
ass
in
off the
touchdown to interception ratio, and I believe was like number 2 or 3 in quarterback rating at the time. Looking at a 5-8 team, there's clearly a problem there. Either get offensive line or somebody defensive. I agree.
Uh, next we have the Seattle Seahawks.
Ugh, that's a weird one to
Is it
gauge
time
too.
to move on from Gino?
Who's behind Gino? Drew Lock.
Hmm.
And the question is, what would you even get? You even tried to shop him or something like that? Eesh.
I think his contract. I think his contract It's expiring soon. So, I don't know.
It might slightly be time. Wasn't he leading the league in interceptions?
Possible. I
Yeah,
do
I think
remember
it
him giving that
was.
showing up.
I think it was him and Jordan Love. Yeah, but okay. Oh yeah, quarterback ain't out of the question. Uh, Wide receiver ain't out of the question. uh, I think their line is fine. That's the only reason I know who Zach Charbonnet is and
Oh yeah,
Kenneth
man, I
Walker.
love Zach Charbonnet. I always get Zach Charbonnet in late in drafts because my man's a lotto ticket. 3 or
Yeah,
4 weeks a season, he'll be your starting running back.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna do a duel here. I'm gonna say either QB or wide receiver.
They don't. You know what? When in doubt, either off, go to the trenches, either offensive line or defensive line.
True.
We're at number
The game is
19.
won in the trenches. So
19, the Bucks.
oh boy, a new
That is
Baker.
easy for me.
Uh, hmm. Well, what you got while I'm thinking on it?
I got wide receiver, man, because I think T. Higgins, not T. Higgins, Chris Godwin is a free agent coming up,
Mm.
and he just had like a crazy injury. And Mike Evans is getting older. There might be time just to come get some wide receiver, young dude in there right now.
Mm. I can agree with wide receiver. A slight possibility I'll also throw in there would also be corner.
Mhm.
Because I mean their front seven is decent, but after that, I mean they really only won the division because the division was bad. I'll put it like that. You can easily beat them with a decent passing game scheme. So I'll throw corner in there as well.
Um, okay.
And yes, Baker can sling
Next
that
one,
thing.
last one. Oh
Very good.
yes. I mean, it may not be who you think is going to, but you throwing that shit.
Like the Buccaneers can put up like 35, but it don't matter when they lose 42 to 35. That's where I was going with that.
Exactly. Bet the over.
Hmm.
The last one, Broncos. I'll let you take this
Listen
one.
here. Listen here. Oh, Knicks, hope you are healthy all season. We have seen what we needed to see. PS2, hope you are healthy all season because we've seen what we needed to see. For those that don't know, Patrick Surtain II was one of the elite corners last year, although the Broncos definitely didn't finish with a record that shows the accolades that these players are getting. But Patrick Surtain II was so elite that passes thrown his direction, the quarterback rating for the passes thrown his direction was worse than if you threw the ball to the dirt every single day. Um, so we are good there. We could possibly use maybe a safety to help in the backfield. Our defense is looking definitely stout. Quinn Miners can use some help. So
And who's Quint Miners?
He's one of our offensive linemen. I would say possibly either
Okay.
offensive lineman or wide receiver. A wide receivers were actually starting to gel though. I'm gonna go offensive lineman for Denver,
All right.
especially considering running game was not our issue. Our running game was so good and confident that we basically gave up Samaje Perine to the Chiefs for peanuts because the rest of our running backs were that good. So
All right. I'm gonna go with edge rusher.
I can get down with that too. I can get down with that too. Because last time we won the Super Bowl, edge rusher was our MVP. So
With that being said, y'all keep on sipping and wash your hands and get ready
please
for this
watch.
combine because we about to see some real stuff tomorrow. Trades about to get made, and we about to read this whole list again.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
what if the Browns trade out of number two? So they don't need a quarterback. No, okay, you need a quarterback, but you can't. He
In
ain't gonna
Cleveland
play.
Browns fashion, they will probably draft a quarterback.
Anybody want Deshaun Watson? No,
Mr. Nasty
unless you want your quarterback to sit for 2 or 3 years.
on a revolving door of quarterback.
Hmm.
You see the picture of that dude that made his own custom jersey, and he's got like that long list of all the quarterbacks the Browns
Yeah,
have had. Just gonna be another name added onto that jersey. My man gonna have a cape by the time he.
man, this is like yeah, that's not be nuts. That be nuts, yo.
And as
Oh man,
embarrassing as that is, how about the Broncos have had more starting quarterbacks uh, since 2015?
what?
The Broncos have had more starting quarterbacks than the Browns since 2015. We've had 12.
Okay,
I can't. It's been so many. I can't even name them all. Well, technically 13 because there was the game we had to play the Saints without a quarterback, so we had to stick like a wide
huh?
receiver at quarterback. So technically 13. We've had 13.
Hmm, hmm.
I only remember a handful though, because obviously Peyton Manning. You got Brock Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, Drew Lock, Trevor Simeon, Joe Flacco. It's a lot.
I remember Trevor Siemian. I remember Trevor Siemian, though.
Oh boy. And now we got Bo Nix, who makes number 13.
I remember Trevor Siemian, yo.
Wait, ain't he still in the league or something like that? Or I mean, he might be XFL by now.
Man, I'm excited for the season, but I'm more excited for everything but the Panthers.
Mhm.
So you know,
Uh, let's see. Oh no, he's on the
Uh,
Titans. So yeah, he is still in the league, but he's on the Titans last. I think nobody checking for the Titans.
mm, no.
But yeah, man. I think that's
Yeah, I
it,
guess
man.
that's it, man. My food about to be here in a little bit. Perfect timing.
There you go.
Yep. All right,
Y'all
I'll
stay fly. Y'all keep on sipping. And like you said, y'all wash y'all's hands.
stick those.